Welcome back to another episode on the MLD Balls page. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Miami Heat. All right, so in today's episode, we're going to be talking about those absolute frauds in Miami who added Terry Rozier. And hey, this team, it ain't that bad of a team. It ain't that bad of a team, but last year they committed their assets into a point guard because that's a position that the team really, really needed. Kyle Lowry was on the older side, and just Terry Rozier is just better than Kyle Lowry, better than last year. Tyler Hero, he's a really good player. Question: should he start next to Terry Rozier? I don't think that a lineup of Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero should be put together unless Bam Adebayo is playing power forward. If you take Nikola Jovic out that lineup and put Bam Adebayo at power forward and Kel'el Ware at center, I think a backcourt of Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero is something you could do. But I don't, I don't love Nikola Jovic starting because I'm high on Kel'el Ware, and I think that all he needs to do is be a Myers Leonard. It's not that I'm low on Nikola Jovic at power forward. It's just I'm higher on Bam Adebayo at power forward. Nikola Jovic off the bench, he literally could be the quote unquote point guard, if you know what I mean, because the offense is something that Nikola Jovic runs a lot whenever he is on the court, and if he's coming off the bench, he'd just be allowed to do that more. I think the Miami Heat should pick whether they want Hero or Jovic off the bench. I think Hero's the better player, the better talent, so you go with Jovic, but we'll see what the Miami Heat do with that because Nikola Jovic, he did shoot 40% from three last year. He did give some nice minutes. He is a tall player that gives the Miami Heat some size, and being 6'10" is just something that the Miami Heat have needed. We as a team, I'm gonna say we because yes, I am a Miami Heat fan, and this video might be longer than my other videos. So if you want to dive into my other episodes of me deep diving into these rosters, I suggest you go do that because man, this is what I have: the Miami Heat left, the Pelicans left, and one more team after that. So we done all the other teams. So tune into that after listening to this. But yeah, I'm a Heat fan, so this video is gonna be a little more fun than the rest because man, I'm all over the place. Let me start it off first before I break into the roster. The biggest question of the season for Heat fans. I'm sorry I'm all over the place, so I'm going to stick on to this one thing. Should we trade Jimmy Butler? I think no. Jimmy Butler, whenever he is healthy, he's shown me what he is, what he's capable of, and I know what the other pieces on the team could do. It just we didn't make it healthy in the playoffs last year. I think if we would have been healthy, and man, a lot of things look different if we healthy and face this 2-seeded Knicks. All right, a Knicks team, might I add, was beat up in the first round. And then a Knicks team that faced the Pacers. And then what? We got the Celtics. If we in the Eastern Conference Finals, that means we rolling already. But the thing is, in this reality that we're actually living in, we weren't healthy and we weren't rolling because of that. But I do think the Miami Heat are one of those teams that in the playoffs could get rolling if they healthy. I think the Miami Heat this season might be a home team in the playoffs. I think Pat Riley is genuinely tired of the playing stuff and all that issues, all that bullshit, man. Straight up, because Jimmy Butler know he been bullshitting, and that's why when Pat Riley said he's not paying him, he didn't request to trade. Like he'd be cool with going somewhere else, but I think the only way Jimmy Butler gets traded is if Bam Adebayo gets hurt. Because if Bam gets hurt, what's the point of the season? You know what I mean? The whole point that we locked into Jimmy for is that we could win now with Jimmy. I do think the Miami Heat have a window that could win a championship this season. I do. I still do think so. And the only way that doesn't happen is if Bam Adebayo gets hurt. If Bam Adebayo gets hurt, I'm cool with trading Jimmy Butler. And I think he would request a trade at that point because, my co-star is hurt. One year left on the deal. I'm out of here. But if his co-star is healthy, and when we talk about this team, y'all gonna see why I'm so high on the Miami Heat and why I think this roster is gonna be a team that might have home court advantage in the playoffs. Man, I think the Miami Heat and Pat Riley's not gonna pay you if you don't play, so you better get to playing, Jimmy. And it's not a health thing. That's the thing about it. Jimmy's stuff, we're all, rest in peace to his father, by the way, because that is something that he was dealing with last year. Like Jimmy had a lot of stuff he was dealing with last year, and a lot of things that he wasn't doing like on the court wise. He was going to tennis games while being drunk and then saying he couldn't play the next day. You know what I mean? While we were fighting for like playing spots. You know what I mean? Like that's something that upset the team. That's not Heat culture. That's just not Heat culture. Jimmy Butler isn't Heat culture. And if you want to break the rules, be healthy in the playoffs at least. I don't have a problem with Jimmy as a Heat fan. I want Jimmy on the team, but just a way that the franchise is ran, and that's just how it's always been. And it's cool. I love the consistency because it starts at the top. That's why Bam Adebayo is the captain of the Miami Heat. Is because don't feel like Jimmy's a leader. That's the reason he isn't paid. It's not because of his talent. It's because he doesn't play hard, and he shows up when he wants to. But to me, hey, if he wants to show up only in the playoffs, hey, keep doing it, my boy. Hey, I don't care. I don't care. But make it to the playoffs. He ain't making it to the playoffs this year. And I just think that's the biggest goal for this team. Make it to the playoffs. And this team in the playoffs, man. Oh man. Let's talk about the roster because we talked about that duo already in Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. That ever since they've been together, they've made 4 conference finals in 6-7 years. Jimmy Butler hasn't been on the Miami Heat for that long. Jimmy Butler signed to Miami maybe 2019, I want to say. Yes, in July 2019, he signed with the Miami Heat, and we are currently in the year 2024, and we've been to the finals twice. We've lost in the Eastern Conference Finals twice. So in that time span from 2019 to 2024, the team has been to 4 conference finals actually, and the only time they haven't been there is when they hurt. And the 1 year where we got beat up by the Bucks, where Jimmy Butler was just coming back from that COVID stuff, and he was skinny as heck, and the whole team was man. That COVID year, if there's ever a year you want to look at weirdly in basketball, is that year after the Heat Lakers finals, where everyone was beat up the year after because of the short off season. If you ever want to look at a year weird, I don't discredit anything personally, but if you want to, it's not that bubble stuff where people were healthy and just focused on basketball. I'll tell you that much. But Jimmy Butler and Ben Adebayo, that is the duo that we know is going to work because holy, that defensive. Jimmy Butler is maybe the best off-ball defender in the league, and he's paired with the most versatile defender in the league, who I think is the first or second best defender in the NBA. And just having that, it's a really easy duo to build defensively if you want to. The Miami Heat last year were a top 5 defense with not really that much defensive pieces next to this duo. But kel'el Ware, reason I like him so much on the Miami Heat is because I think he's the 3rd best or 4th best defender on this team immediately. And he's a rebounder. That's not something Miami has had since the suspension of Myers Leonard. Like, I'm not going to lie, Myers Leonard getting suspended kind of like really hurt us. And Kevin Love was the replacement. Kevin Love has held it down, but the big next to Bam is a real like role that the Miami Heat have because Bam could play next to any big, but this is the best type of big that he plays with, like in his history. Like when he plays with Kelly Olynyk, Myers Leonard, with just guys who could space the court out. And then, like I said, kel'el Ware, he immediately is maybe a top 3 defender on this team, in my opinion. Haywood Highsmith and kel'el Ware. I'll give it to Highsmith for now. So I'll give kel'el Ware the 4th best defender on this team right now, as of right now. Yeah. And the Miami Heat are a team that's top 5 defensively on the metrics because of the coaching. And if he's already that talented defensively as a rookie, I could only imagine the ceiling. I don't even want to imagine the ceiling though. I'm literally trying to give Kel'el Ware a floor, and I think his floor on this team and his skill set should still be starting. All I want him to do is be Myers Leonard, space out the court next to Bam, and play defense. And hey, he could block shots with the best of them. I'll say that immediately in the league, I think he'll be able to block shots with the best of them. Tyler Hero, Tyler Hero. What? I don't know what Tyler Hero wants to be because whatever he does, I think he's gonna be amazing at. It just what does he want to be, man? Um, if he starts, I think he should shoot 9 threes a game. I think Tyler Hero is that good of a 3-point shooter, and he needs to get the deep mid ranges out of his diet. If he just shot 9 threes a game, Tyler Hero could legit become an all-star. And like if he could become the best catch and shoot player in the NBA. Like Klay Thompson and he's getting older. You know what I mean? Like this is the time where Tyler Hero, you could become that guy because he is that good of a shooter. Duncan Robinson, similar player, less of a ceiling, and I trust his floor more, I'll say, with Duncan because he's usually healthier. Tyler Hero, man, he hasn't been able to like hold up until the playoffs. Like straight up, Tyler Hero this year against the Celtics, he actually did well as a primary ball handler, which is insane because if we were a healthy team, he'd ask to be the tri-sherry ball handler, you know? So like the fact he did good as the primary shows me like no matter what, off the bench, he if he's on the bench and we start Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero's six man of the year. You know what I mean? So like I know Tyler Hero can still hold it down. I think I don't know. I don't know. Whatever role Miami has him in, I'd feel comfortable in because either he's starting and he's going to be asked to shoot a lot of threes, or he's coming off the bench and be Manu Ginobili. I think he's capable of both of those. Like I do think he's that good of a player. Duncan Robinson and him are two of the top 100 3-point shooters of all time. And the Miami Heat have that duo next to a top defensive duo of all time. Literally, next to that, now they have Terry Rozier, who is one of the better point guards in the NBA. Well, he's a top 30 point guard in the NBA. And like he's a starting level point guard. Is he one of the best ones? No, but he's a starter. He's a low level starter. You know what I mean? So Terry Rozier for a team that has no other point guard play, that is kind of scary because my backup point guard for the Miami Heat would be a two-way player, Alondes Williams. Alondes Williams in the summer league, he looked really nice. He played for the Miami Heat summer league for a couple years now, and I think that he should be the guy that we call up instead of Drew Smith. I hate Drew Smith. I don't know why. Spoelstra has a crush on Drew Smith, man. He had a crush on Max Strus, which it wasn't the worst crush, I guess. He had a crush on Drew Smith. I think he got a crush on Nikola Jovic now. Man, Nikola Jovic, if he starts for too long, man, it's gonna be official. But I do think Kel'el Ware, it is kind of a take because he's a rookie. So I mean I could be wrong, but I think Kel'el Ware should be a starter. And what's his name? I'm stuttering like crazy. My bad. But Coach Spo, he also got a crush on Jaime because I remember one of those games against the Celtics, it was like 3 possessions in a row where Jaime turned the ball over and they just kept giving him the ball. Like, go out there, man. Go out there, man. Go build your confidence. No, man, it's the playoffs. Jaime, man, get your ass on the bench, bro. But at the same time, we so hurt that I can't even blame Spo for that for real, man. Like, we had no Rozier. Rozier's neck issues seems like they finally stopped bothering him because the Miami Heat, we didn't really know what was going on with Terry Rozier neck, man. Terry Rozier, like, I thought he was going to come back for the playoffs and then find out he wasn't even really healthy until 2 weeks ago, man. Like, the Miami Heat kind of recently announced that he's 100% healthy. Yeah, that's crazy. Kevin Love, he is on the older side, but like I said, the big next to Bam is a legit role that in the Miami Heat is so easy to play because all you have to do is rebound next to Bam. And Kevin Love, remember his time on the Timberwolves, he's one of the best rebounders of all time. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he's still capable of that, but he could be a good rebounder in the NBA still, and he still is, and he can shoot the three. So, hey, Bam just cooks wherever he cook while Kevin Love grabs rebounds and shoot threes. That's literally what I'm asking Kel'el Ware to do at 7 foot. Kel'el Ware is already a great rebounder. a great lob threat. That's one thing that like the Miami Heat, we throw a lot of lobs to Bam already. All of our players are accustomed to doing that because Bam is one of the best lob threats in the league. So now we're gonna be able to have another big off the bench, come oozing with that athleticism, just like Bam at 7 foot who could block shots. And I'm not I'm not saying Khalil Ware could shoot threes like crazy. I'm asking for 31% from the 3 point line, believe it or not. 32. I just want him to be able to space the court out a little bit to where teams will like, think about guarding it. He's a rookie, of course. I don't expect him to come in and shoot 38% from three off rip. If he does that, holy, I'm talking about this team different. But in his rookie year, I'm expecting like 32, 33%, hopefully. But the place that he impacts the team is rebounding and shooting. His rebounding and blocking and defense. I mean, I don't know why I said shooting when I just explained that his shooting. I have a low floor on his shooting. I don't care about it yet. And not yet, at least, because Bam Adebayo is the one who's adding the 3 pointer. Hey, hey, Heat Nation, stand up. I know you see them Bam Adebayo threes. That's where I'm looking at a higher ceiling from the 3 pointer at, because let's say that Khalil Ware shoots like I said 33% from three. What does Bam have to shoot at the power forward position? Like 35? Bam could shoot 35. I don't think it's crazy to ask Bam to shoot 35% from three, is it? Because I mean, last year he shot 35 on point 0.6 attempts. So like, man, look, I don't think this Bam 3 pointer stuff is fake. It's not fake because I listened to Bam Adebayo and Udonis Haslam episode on Haslam's podcast, and a big majority of it was just Bam pleading to Udonis Haslam that he wants to play power forward, and he's always complained about that. And they were even talking about how, like in the past, that's really what he does, and he's right. Like Bam wasn't asked to play center until Mars Leonard, like I said, just cooked us and got out the league, man. Like that was a really random thing to just put Bam at center, but he held it down. And at his time at center, that's kind of where Bam took best defender in the world to me when Myers Leonard got hurt, because he went and played full-time center and became a top 10 like rim protector. Like it's crazy. I always thought he was just a Swiss Army knife. And then after that time where Myers Leonard got up out of here, he became a great rim protector too, or he always been that. It got proven more because he's the only center, and he became even a better rebounder, stronger rebounder. Bam has been on. Man, I did not expect this coming out when he came from Kentucky. Man, I did not expect him to be this good, but Bam is a legit top 20 player in the NBA, undoubtedly. Jimmy Butler's a top. I can't say undoubtedly for Bam actually, but he's undoubtedly a top 25 player. But Jimmy Butler, man, top 20 player undoubtedly. Yeah, I could say that. And dude, the Miami Heat, man, scary team. We got Alec Burks now, who off the bench, he's gonna play a similar role to Tyler Hero. And I do love that signing because what if Tyler Hero gets hurt like he always does in the playoffs? Alec Burks is a great replacement, man. Like Alec Burks can come in immediately and do what Tyler Hero does. Yeah, to a lesser degree, but hey, that's depth right there. That's what depth is there for. To be a similar player, but to a lesser degree. Jaime Jaquez. People high on Jaime, man. And I do like Jaime, but I think that I don't know. I don't know. He's a second year player, so like he could show us a lot, man. I do like him on the Miami Heat though. He got the Heat aura. He chill. He got that Jimmy Butler play style, and whenever Jimmy Butler does sit out games, he is a legit perfect plug and play piece. You know what I mean? He like I said, he literally plays like Jimmy Butler. He got the post game. He's more mid range orientated, and that's the thing about the Miami Heat. A lot of our players are mid-range orientated. You got Tyler Hero. Well, I'm saying I need him to get that mid-range out of his shot diet, man. Like he's not even good at it, Like He's not a good mid range shooter. He's an elite 3 point shooter, and he keeps shooting them off dribble mid ranges. He needs to get to the basket more. He's kind of like, I think Tyler Hero is just scared to get to the basket, man. He needs to draw fouls. If Tyler Hero was somebody that knew how to draw fouls and get to the rim, he would be an elite scorer. But he doesn't do that, so I think he should just stick to the 3 point line. But Duncan Robinson, already talked about him being a top 100 3 point shooter of all time. He got better as a ball handler. He's able to put the ball on the court now. So Duncan Robinson is a guy who I think he could be in legit 6 man of the year like runs. Like he is Miami Heat, man, off the bench. They got Alec Burks, who I think is an above average bench player. Jaime Jaquez, who I think is an above average bench player. Kel'el Ware, who I think I can't. All right, for a lock. Alec Burks is a lock above average bench player. Jaime is, Duncan Robinson are, and Haywood Highsmith. Haywood Highsmith legit. Man, Haywood Highsmith or Khalil Ware should be starting on the Miami Heat. But Khalil Ware, he's a guy, man. Maybe I'm so high on the Heat because of the floor I see on Khalil Ware, and I think he, no matter what, that's worst case scenario. I'm telling y'all. I'm talking about Khalil Ware, in the worst case scenario is Myers Leonard. Okay, I'm not gassing him, man. I'm just asking for Myers Leonard, and if he's better than what I'm asking for, holy, you better be scared. All right, because Kevin Love as the like fourth big on this team would be so good because Kevin Love minutes would be better with Khalil Ware because now Kevin Love would be asked to play power forward instead of center because we'd have Khalil Ware who could, defend better, and Kevin Love would literally just be rebounding in three. You know what I mean? You know how you have 3 and D? Kevin Love is rebounding in three. And then we'd have Khalil Ware be the D. So I would like that for the Miami Heat if Khalil Ware. It's not I would like it. I know it's gonna happen. I just wonder how good he's gonna be. Pele Larson, he seemed like a cool shooter that could get to the rim. Josh Christopher, he's on a 2-way contract. He's somebody who I think he's capable of becoming like most improved player of the year, man. Like Josh Christopher, from what I was watching, man, he looked that good, man. But it's not something that we could guarantee because he's on a 2-way contract. Keyshawn Johnson, somebody else. He's a rookie. I think he came in the second round out of Arizona. Keyshawn Johnson reminds me of Josh Smith, man. Like just the way that he's able to get to the rim. He's so athletic, man. I love Keyshawn Johnson. I think that he's gonna be somebody that actually sticks with the Miami Heat because he could defend also. Khalil Ware, he been talking about him a lot. He reminds me of Myers Leonard. He reminds me of like those Jaren Jackson. He reminds me of those type of guys, man. Chet Holmgren. Khalil Ware is like Chet Holmgren, Jaren Jackson, Miles Turner. He's a better rebounder than Jaren Jackson immediately. Day one. I could guarantee that. And he's a better like shot blocker than I'm trying to think. He's on the same level of a Miles Turner shot blocking wise, but at the same time, Miles Turner is a really good shot blocker. I got to give him his props, but I think so is Khalil Ware, man. I think Khalil Ware is that good of a shot blocker. Either way, for the Miami Heat, anyone else that I want to talk about, you got Pele Larson, who I haven't watched. He did hit that buzzer beater in the summer league. He has been like really cool. He actually like no problems with him, which is actually a good thing. That's something I gotta like appreciate more when watching games. Somebody who you watch and have no problem with anything they do, and they just stick to their role. And that's a good player right there. Nazir Little, I wonder what Miami Heat gonna get out of him. I know he's a pesky defender, and I remember coming out of the draft, Nazir Little was somebody who I loved, man. I don't know, man. He was a hustle player, and he was just somebody who defended, man. And the Miami Heat, if we could have him do that and knock down his threes, that would be an amazing thing for us because, hey, the more depth, the better. I wonder what did he shoot from last year though. He shot 30%, 36. Yeah, that was his problem. He never really been able to knock down threes. but he's always been a pesky defender. And I did like him when he came into the draft a little bit too much because he did go at pick 25. Yeah, Nazir Little. Shout out to him. Sounds like we're wrapping the video up if we're talking about Nazir Little, right? Isaiah Stevens, he's decent on the two-way contract. Zion Pullen, he's decent, but the guys who I would have on the roster for the Miami Heat. Last thing I want to say, like I said, I'm a Heat fan, so I'm gonna chat a little bit more. All right. The best thing for the Miami Heat is if they start Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero, or Duncan Robinson, man. That's something I'm gonna hold on for now. But those two should always be your shooting guards. So you Terry Rozier at the point guard, Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Kel'el Ware. And then off the bench, you have Hero or Duncan Robinson, one of the shooting guards, as your sixth man. You have Jaime as your seventh man. You have Nikola Jovic as your eighth man. You have Haywood Highsmith as your ninth man. You have that's a good 9 right there. Then you have Alec Burks as your 10. That's oh man, Alec Burks as a 10th man is crazy. Honestly, to me, I know his name isn't on the roster. I would put Alondes Williams over. Wow. The Miami Heat, man. That's the thing about it. We so deep that I'm talking about our two-way players as somebody who I want in the lineup so we can have a backup point guard. But I guess Jimmy Butler, Jovic, Jaime, Bam, they all take a little bit of the point guard role because of the sets that we haven't even talked about the best coach in the league runs. Eric Spoelstra, he runs so many sets for us that we do need a point guard. Every team needs a point guard. I'm not gonna lie, because Kyle Lowry, he was so impactful for us, despite him not being that good of a player, because he was legit our only point guard. And you're gonna see similar things out of Terry Rozier. We need that 3-point playmaking that he provides. We need his point guard play, and we need him to set up our great players such as Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler. He makes those guys' job easier, you know. But in the times where he's sitting on the court, that's how our team runs for real. It is Bam Adebayo, dribble handoffs, him running sets with Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero playing off of that. That is the Miami Heat. And then whenever it's not that, we're gonna have Jaime Jaquez like playing off of it. Like the Miami Heat are a team that every team should have 2 point guards, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. And our second point guard is low-key Nikola Jovic. He's gonna be the guy who he's gonna play off of Bam, and we're gonna see what that does. I wonder, does Miami Heat trade for another point guard though? I love this roster how it is. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I would do is trade for a veteran backup point guard. Literally it. Like that's the only thing I see. That's if I think that the Miami Heat, if we are winning games I think if Bam Adebayo is healthy at the trade deadline or later on into the season, we might look at getting a veteran point guard if we all in straight up, because last year we were all in, because literally what I said is what we did. We went and got that veteran point guard that we needed. We upgraded. We just got hurt. We weren't trying. And guess what? Thanks to our governor, I call him now, I guess, governor, yep. He is going to, make sure that the team, take the regular season serious, so fans don't have to see us have the Orlando Magic and Pacers have a better season than us, man. That's not real, man. That's effort right there, bro. This team is too good. And yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of Up the Score Show. We got the best coach in the league. We have a deep roster, one of the deepest rosters in the league, in my opinion. And I think the Miami Heat are the scariest team in the NBA, because you clicked on this video and thought I was going to talk about a fraudulent team. Whole time, I'm talking about the darkest horse in the NBA. Whole time, I'm talking about the team that's right in your face, and you're not going to accept the fact that we're better than your favorite team. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a nice day, and God bless.